statement ending regular season, tournament coming up, and then we'll go to questions.
Yeah, just first of all, just really, really proud of our team to win another conference championship. You guys know that, I say it's my favorite thing to accomplish every year is to win a regular season title. And this one, I think this is I don't know what number it is, but we've won a lot of them. And I honestly think this one is as rewarding as any that we've ever won just because of how young we are and how much we've dealt with injury and adversity. And I'm really, really proud of this team. It was a great weekend for us at Liberty. We played in dominant fashion, 1-3-0, 3-0. Our RPI shot through the roof. We're at 30 in the RPI this week, so we should be really solidified as an NCAA tournament team. And so lots of things to be really, really happy about, be proud of with this team. And now, we put the regular season to bed, and now it's time to go play this conference tournament, and where anything can happen. And but very fortunately, I think we're playing it from a position of, where we have that NCAA bid kind of in place, so we can just kind of go down there and relax and let it fly, and see if we can come home with another trophy.
You feel like you're playing your best where you want to be?
I do. We're still not where I hoped we would be starting at the beginning of the year, but I kind of had to let go of that a little bit because we've just had so many people out with injuries that we're just not going to get all the way there. That gives me something to hopefully bring me back next year with this group because we returned so many. But I definitely think in the last 2 or 3 weeks we've probably played our best volleyball. Things are starting to, offensively we have been a juggernaut. Like we are really a problem offensively for people right now because we're just so very balanced, and so we're a problem, and I think we're going to be a tough out in this tournament this weekend and a tough out in the NCAA tournament as well.
When everyone was talking about the streak for obvious reasons, sports streaks are huge. What have you seen since it ended until now? You've kind of addressed it, but that was like 6 weeks ago, wasn't it?
6 matches ago, something like that. Like I said, I don't think it impacted us that much. If it lifted a little bit of a burden off our team, great. But to be honest, I think the biggest coincidence of it is that's about the time we started getting healthy. And so we've been at full strength now for the last 2 or 3 weeks. And, I haven't heard Izzy Vanderwheely even talk about her ab for the last couple weeks. And that was the last lingering issue that we had. And so it's good to, I guess if you're going to endure all that stuff, to get whole and healthy and feel like you're playing well at the end is what you hope for. And, and here we sit with a conference championship in tow and a really good opportunity this week at the conference tournament.
You mentioned you feel good with 30, UTEP at 15. There's both of you guys going to this probably feeling in good shape.
Yeah.
I would think on the outside, there's a lot of bubble teams that are rooting for both of you guys this week.
Yeah, they don't want to see a third team win it, that's for sure, because I think we're both in really good shape to get in. And, like I said, it reminds me of the Western Kentucky Rice days, in Conference USA, where we were kind of on a collision course to get to the finals. And, like you said, there's a lot of bubble teams that hope that that's the case again this year. It will not be easy. There are some really capable teams. FIU has had a phenomenal year. Kennesaw State has had a phenomenal year. Liberty's had a phenomenal year. Like this is the depth of this conference tournament is better than I can remember it, to be honest. And I think there's a lot of teams going down there with the belief that they can find a way to win 3 in 3 days, and rightfully so.
You start with one of the teams you didn't see this year in the regular season, but certainly a team you're familiar with, particularly in the conference tournament.
Yeah, New Mexico State is it's who we played in the championship last year, and we're playing them in the first round. And they're a different team. We're a different team. They've had more. We took a big loss with Kaylee Cox and Kennedy Coyle, and we replaced them with some young ones. They really had to revamp. They lost the majority of their on-court roster from a year ago, but Mike Jordan at New Mexico State and I go back many, many, many years in coaching, all the way back to our Sun Belt days, and he's such a good coach, and his teams compete at such a high level, and So it'll be a challenge. Again, you think sometimes you draw a team that's a lower seed in the tournament, and it's maybe somebody who's just glad to be there, or Mexico State's used to being there and playing deep into it. And so we understand that, and we understand the challenge that they'll be in the first round.
You've talked about 4 defense needing to be at a high with your struggles at the service line. I think that second match that we can get 3 players with double-digit digs. What have you seen for defense-wise to kind of get that defense where it needs to be?
Yeah, we just keep pushing that side of it. It's the offense is really playing at an elite level, and defensively, as you know, I've been dragging them along from the service line all year. The thing that I think is the most improved in the last 3 weeks that we've put a lot of focus on is our blocking. Our blocking numbers have gone way back up over the last 3 weeks, and then we know we're capable behind it, but this last little push, I'm trying to get those littles back there to have like sometimes when you're really good offensively, you don't play defense with the urgency that you should. And you get it. You see it in every sport, right? If you're a basketball team that's scoring 100 a night, you're usually not a lockdown defensive team. And I'm trying to get us to defend like we're a bad offensive team. And because it's a separate part of the game. And I've always said defense is kind of like our security blanket, because if you have an off day, if somebody has schemes up something that really gets you out of sorts offensively, being a great defensive team is kind of your security blanket that can keep you in it. Because, when you get to tournament time, if we're going to win in 3 days down there, I promise you at least one of them is going to be an ugly one, where you just have to grind and find a way. Last year was FIU. That we played, and we were in a grinder right away. And tournament time is tournament time. It's why you try to work so hard to put yourself in the position that we're in, because anything can happen. And, the word I've used with our team all year is vulnerable, right? And so we're good enough to go down there and win another championship. We know we're vulnerable enough to go down there and lose in any round of this thing. And, so hopefully we put our best foot forward, have a couple good practices, and play well in Miami.
Are you starting working on your logistical plans for a conference tournament?
That's been done for a little while. We qualified pretty early on for that, and we've been fortunate to play in conference tournament year after year after year, and so we kind of have a blueprint of what that looks like. The NCAA tournament prep is what's always a little bit different, because you're factoring in, Thanksgiving holiday and not knowing where you're going to go play and all of that. The conference tournament's a pretty straightforward deal. We'll leave early Wednesday morning and fly down, and then Thursday will be a practice day there, and then we'll kick that thing off on Friday.
That was wise. I'm going to knock on wood when I asked this. So you guys pretty much said, I know Izzy was struggling with some abdominal stuff, but is she back? And I know.
Yeah, I knock on wood is right. Everybody in here knock on wood, but we're about as whole as we've been. We're doing well. Callie's shoulder's doing well. Izzy's ab seems to be improved. The thing I worry about the most this time of year, honestly, is illness. This is, as you know, all around all of us. There's a lot of people that are coming down with strep and, all these different things that come along with this time of year. And so we are going through the hand sanitizer right now in our locker room, and just trying to get them to be, college kids aren't always the most mindful in terms of, getting proper rest and not, eating or drinking after each other. And, they're in small spaces together all the time when we travel. And so my biggest fear this time of year is always illness, because it just kind of comes with the territory of getting into the late November, early December part of this thing.
You mentioned all year about being a young team. How do you think the adversity combined with what you put forth with the challenge-wise schedule is going to prepare you for what lies ahead in 3 games and 3 days?
I'm just really proud of the resiliency of this team. Like, I'm telling you guys, as you know, I've been doing this a long time, and we've been blessed to win a lot of championships, and this one is about as rewarding as any that we've had, because it has been anything but easy. Like, every week is just trying to get to the next week and still have a chance. And I hope that serves us well, come tournament time. I always try to get our team to relax and enjoy this part of it. As my granddad used to always say, the hay's in the barn. You know, at this point, for the most part, like you are what you are, and you're not going to change yourself or grow a lot or anything. You just want to be a good version of yourself. And, you know, it's what, you know, the scary thing about tournament time is also what makes tournament time special, right? Like you don't turn on March Madness because all the top seeds win. You know, that'd be boring if every March, like March Madness would lose its allure if every year the top seeds won. Like that's not what makes it magical, and we know that. We know that's why I don't like to leave it in the hands of a conference tournament to get to the NCAA tournament, because truly anything can happen. And so what you try to do is put yourself in position to win, and what you try to do is play in a manner that gives you enough of a gap that when the crazy stuff happens, you still end up winning that night.
You know, kind of on that same note, you go into this, like you said, you guys and UTEP both in a really good spot, whether you win or lose the conference tournament. For you, does that take any pressure off, you know, entering that, you know, you don't have to win the conference championship, but maybe for your players, you know, they really want this?
There's no question it takes pressure off. There's no way around it. I said it to somebody one year, and they said, well, you know, I said, look, it's nice going down there and being able to relax. And they were like, wait, like you guys, you don't care if you win the tournament or not? And I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Like it's a chance to win another championship, and we've been awfully, awfully good in conference tournaments over the last several years. And it has nothing to do with urgency to win. It has to do with any advantage you can find, you know, during that 3-day period. And it just so happens that UTEP and us kind of have that advantage this year, that because what happens in tournament time is everybody's playing for their season. And so whenever you get in a game and the ball bounces funny for a while and you get behind, it's really easy to tighten up, and those moments, you know, that, oh my gosh, our season's going to end kind of feeling. And fortunately for the two of us, that's something that maybe we've been able to avoid going into this conference tournament. It's a luxury. It just allows you to play through some things that other people might tighten up in that moment. But, you know, the urgency is not gone. Like, that's a silly thing for anybody to say to anybody in our program. Like, you know, all we're about is winning championships. And so we're excited to go down there and try to find a way to win another one. But we feel like it's an advantage to be able to go down there and know that, you know, if that magical moment happens for whoever's across the net for us, that we're still going to ultimately end up where we want to be.
Coach, do you feel like there's any specific areas like serving or receiving that would be pivotal in that tournament?
Yeah, serving has been my thing all year with our team. Like we're just so average in my mind serving. We're so sporadic in my mind in serving, because we have matches where we're excellent from the service line, and then we have matches where we can't get out of our own way from the service line. And part of the reason why serving is such a big piece for me is because I know who we are in most every other area of the game. We are leading Conference USA in defense, opponent hitting percentage. We are leading Conference USA in offense, our hitting percentage. And so there's only so many unknowns left in there, and we know we can block, we know we can play floor defense, we know we're really elite offensively, and that serving piece is the one that's been a coin toss a lot, and it really factors in. It's the equalizer. Like when teams are trying to upset you, that's the great equalizer, people that can disrupt you from the service line. And so yet again, that'll be a big focus this week.
All right, thanks guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.